And a pleasant good afternoon to everybody. Welcome to Scottsdale Stadium in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. And today it's home to the 2013 Msbl World Series as the NorCal Giants and the Dallas Orioles battle for 55 Cactus national supremacy. It looks to be a great matchup here from the ballpark. Jeff Lowry with APM Video Sports. The Giants coming in undefeated at 7-0. They've already played Dallas and beat them earlier this week. The final score in that game was 8-3 in favor of the Giants. While on the other side, the Orioles having an outstanding 2013 Msbl World Series, 5-1 in pool play. Overall, they are 6-1, and they're led by their manager, Mark Moore.
Gives you refreshment every time.
Bud Sanchez is the manager of the NorCal Giants. So it's 7-0 versus 6-1. The Giants and the Orioles for 55 and over Cactus League supremacy. Back with the play-by-play right after this. Well, the Giants have just taken the field here at Scottsdale Stadium. Steve Lawfrey, the pitcher, getting set to go and face the Orioles. The Giants and the Orioles in this World Series game. Again, we're in the 55 Cactus League. And we're ready to go from Scottsdale. The first pitch is in there for a called strike, and we're underway. Just a gorgeous day. Temperatures in the mid-80s. The right-hander goes into the line, and here's the pitch, and it's low and away for a ball. Dave Husky leading things off here, and he will take a strike, and the count runs to 1-2 on the right-handed hitting leadoff hitter. Husky, Moore, and Lash the first three here to face the right-hander Steve Lawfrey. Ready with the two-strike offering, and it is bounced right back up the middle. The pitcher's got it. That will be the first out of this 55 Cactus National Championship game. Second place hitter, Mark Moore, coming up to the plate here for the Orioles out of Dallas, Texas. Moore, of course, the manager of this team, right-handed hitter. First pitch is in the dirt. You got a southpaw catcher, a rarity in baseball, Larry Proetti. Showed some good glove work on that low and outside pitch. 1 ball, no strikes to Moore. And that one is under the knees. 2 balls and no strikes. Top of the first inning. We are scoreless. Nobody on with 1 out. And it's low and inside. 3-0 to Moore. So Steve Lawfrey needs a strike here against the second place hitter for the Orioles. And the 3-0 offering taking all the way, and apparently ball 4, and the first base runner of the ball game is Moore, Mike Moore of the Orioles. That'll bring up the third hitter, Randy Lash. With Mark Moore, I called him Mike Moore, the former Oakland A. Taking a modest lead at first base, and a quick throw over to keep him honest. The Giants got here by way of a 10-9 victory, a 9th inning win over the Arizona Diamondbacks to run their record to 7-0. Fastball nips the inside corner, a called strike 0-1. Vernon Wells Sr. is on deck. Orioles trying to get a rally going here in the top of the first inning. That one is low and away. Steve Lawfrey taking his time out there and now delivers to the plate. He bounced that one up there, and that's going to allow the runner to move up into scoring position at second base. That'll be a wild pitch. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Randy, an outstanding all-around player, one of the leaders in most offensive categories, and he fouls it off to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the next offering is just off the outside part of the plate, full count. And that hit him. So now the runners are at first and second, and the cleanup hitter for the Orioles coming up. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Vernon Wells Sr. Of course, many of you know his son, Vernon Wells Jr., Major League player for many years, probably better than a decade. I think played for the Yankees this past year and had his prime years with the Toronto Blue Jays and more recently with the Anaheim Angels. So the first pitch to Wells is inside for ball 1. John Long on deck, 2 on, 1 out. We're in the top half of the first inning in this 55 and over Cactus championship game. National championship on the line here. And truly maybe two of the top 3 teams right in this Cactus League competing here today, no question about it. Of course, the NorCal Giants, a slight advantage because they've already won against this team. Ground ball to third, step on the bag for 1. The long throw across will not be in time, and there's 2 down. They get the lead runner. Another right-handed hitter, and John Long up there. RBI opportunity here in the top of the first inning, and that one bounces up there, and another tremendous stop by Larry Proetti behind the plate, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Jerry Mecca waits on deck, hoping for a chance to drive in a couple of runs here for the Dallas Orioles. NorCal in the field with Steve Lawfrey, the pitcher, and he delivers a strike, and it's 1-1. A ball and a strike, and that one gets away from Lawfrey, and again, Larry Proetti getting the job done behind the dish. 2-1 is the count on John Long. Of course, that name is synonymous here in the Phoenix area. Of course, John Long was one of the great developers, real estate developers, throughout Arizona and Nevada. I don't think this is the same John Long because I think John Long passed away a few years ago, but he's up there trying to get at least one of those runners in. You got first and second occupied with 2 out here in the top of the first inning. The pitch, and that's outside ball 4, and the bases are loaded. 80 degrees, our game time temperature here in Scottsdale, Arizona, at Scottsdale Stadium. And this one gets away, but the runner from third will not advance to score. 2-0 on Jerry Mecca. Mecca, an outstanding line drive hitter, hits for average. Lawfrey throwing pretty hard. He has had some command issues. He has hit a batter and walked 2. Bases loaded, 2 out. And he gets the knee-high strike, and it's 2-1. Outfield playing straight away on Mecca. A little tight on the lines at first and third, the pitch. And a looper over the first baseman. Nope, he's got it. Outstanding play as he had to drift over into foul territory. So an outstanding play by Mark Weathers. We head to the home half of the first inning. The Orioles nothing, and the Giants coming up. First pitch, bottom half of the first inning, a called strike. Will Militia. Left-handed hitter, the catalyst on this team. Next pitch is outside for a ball. Well, our game time temperature is Ruben Otis, the right-hander. He's a veteran of this Msbl World Series. Game time temperatures in the low 80s, low to mid 80s, and just an absolutely gorgeous day. High pop-up. The shortstop drifts back, and Lash takes care of business out number 1.
Taylor, who else?
Well, there is Ruben Otis. So Militia retired on a routine ball to short, and now Taylor Wells with a line drive base hit out into left field. That'll bring up Rob Segura. Rob out of Sacramento, California. Outstanding hard-hitting right-hand hitter. Part of the brain trust for Bud Sanchez over here on the NorCal side. Of course, we were told that this will be Bud's last season managing and getting set to marry his wonderful wife-to-be, Cindy Carr. Congratulations, Bud. And Bud's hoping that this trip to Phoenix, Arizona will land his NorCal Giants a national championship, but they're going up against a tough Orioles team that was 5-1 in round-robin play, 1-0 here in the playoffs. And Rob Segura trying to break the ice between these two tough teams. Good pitch by Ruben Otis. Bottom half of the first inning, no score. Rob Segura up there, he's the third place hitter. And he was a little out in front of that one, fouled it off. Runner was going on the pitch. Now Taylor takes a modest lead at first base. Otis might want to throw over there. Let's see if he just goes right after Segura here. That one is taken high, ball 4. So a single walk after Militia was retired on a pop-up to the shortstop, and here's Mark Weathers. Weathers an outstanding RBI machine. That's why he's in that number 4 spot. He's got 2 on with 1 out. In a scoreless tie, bottom half of inning number 1. And the pitch from Ruben Otis is popped up. The shortstop drifting out. Shallow left field. Left fielder coming on. And a nice running catch by Lash, 2 down.
And
Here's Dan Poole. Alden Anderson is our public address announcer today. Very colorful, very animated. You'll hear him loud and clear on this video. Scottsdale Stadium. Almost the oldest of all the spring training facilities. In fact, I think only Phoenix Municipal Stadium, as the 1-0 pitch is taken for a strike, and it's 1-1. I think Phoenix Muni is the oldest. It will no longer be a spring training facility as this one's looped down the line, but foul. A ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, Phoenix Muni will be the home of ASU, Arizona State Sun Devil baseball next season. The A's are moving to Hohokam, and the Cubs are getting that new facility over at, I think it's going to be called Mesa River Bend, something along that line. And I understand will be a fantastic facility. Here's a soft line drive behind the pitcher's mound. The shortstop Lash throws and got him. How about that? Fine defensive play. And the side is retired, and we got 1 in the book and a scoreless tie. You're watching the 55 and over national championship game from Scottsdale Stadium. Bottom half of inning, or top half of inning number 2. Well, Dallas sent 6 men to the plate in the first inning, was unable to score. David Thrall will start things off. Mike Bergoglio and Lester Bedford against Steve Lawfried. And Lawfrey worked his way out of a jam with 1 out. He walked second place hitter Moore. Lash got hit by a pitch, another walk, and out later to John Long, loading the bases, but then Gary Mecca was induced into a pop-up, and now he has started the second inning much like the first inning got started, with a walk, the 3rd walk of the day for Steve Lawfrey. And a bunt attempt by Mike Bergoglio, and they're going to go to second. And was he safe? Yes, he was. The shortstop took his foot off the bag. So it'll be a fielder's choice. Runners are at first and second, and the batter is Lester Bedford. And Lester may very well be up there in a bunt situation. Rich Hillebrand on deck. We're in the top of the second inning here from Scottsdale Stadium, the winter home of the San Francisco Giants. He squares the bunt and takes outside a ball. Well, I think a good throw would have had David Thrall at second, and I think that's why they did not give Mike the sacrifice. And by the way, we have a left-handed catcher in today's game. And here's a bunt first base side, and they will play this. This will go 3-4 on the sacrifice. Good job by Bedford, and now Rich Hillenbrand with a chance to push across a couple of runs for the Dallas Orioles, trying to win a championship here in 2013. We're in the 55-plus Cactus division. Lawfrey would probably give up the run to get the out. That's a strike. Larry Proetti is the southpaw catcher. Good pitch, a strike. Well, under the knees for a ball. A big cut on and miss. Rich Hillenbrand, a healthy swing at that last one. A two-strike pitch. That one's high and tight. May have had a little trouble with the rubber out there as Steve Lawfrey. Smash left field, foul. Boy, that would have been extra bases. Boy, this is, you talk about Tempe Diablo being a big stadium. And I'll tell you what, this Scottsdale Stadium, 360 down the left field line and 430 to center. Ball 4, that is walk number 4 in the game. And here's a high chopper next batter. Jerry to the mound, and the throw on to first. Double play. 1, 2, 3. And we're heading to the home half of the second. Good job by Proetti. And we are scoreless. Jeff Lowry back here at Scottsdale Stadium in a scoreless tie, bottom half of the second inning. And the batter is going to be Art Sears. It'll be Sears, Mahler, and Acevedo. Or Acevedo, Steve Acevedo. Dan Hasse, should they get that far. It's only 330 down the right field line, but boy, it goes out to 430 to center. Here's a comebacker, and Otis has it. He'll flip on to first base for out number 1. Steve Mahler is the hitter with one out here in the bottom half of the second inning. Well, you talk about dodging a couple of bullets. The Giants starting pitcher, Steve Lawfrey, has walked 4 and hit a batter through the first 2 innings, yet Dallas has been unable to push across a run. Otis starts Mahler with a strike. Check that, ball 1. 1-0 on Steve Mahler. Two and nothing. Otis seems like he's a little uncomfortable on this mound. Here's a slash base hit in the right field. Good piece of hitting there by the right-handed hitting Steve Mahler. That is the second hit of the ball game for the Giants, and now the next batter drills one down the right field line and a foul ball for Acevedo. Pitch out, nothing going on in this 55-plus championship game for national supremacy. Who will it be? NorCal Giants or the Dallas Orioles? The Orioles in the field right now. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. Strikeout number 1. So a strikeout, a walk, and a couple of hits off Otis. Here's a soft ground ball shortstop. He backhands, he fires, and Lash got him to retire the side. 2 in the book in the 55-plus Cactus National Championship game, no score. Scottsdale Stadium, the winter home of the defending world champion San Francisco Giants, so they will be dethroned this year and by the Boston Red Sox St. Louis Cardinals World Series. Pretty good World Series matchup this year. Should be a pretty good one. Go back to the top of the lineup. Here's Dave Husky. Husky, Moore, and Lash. First three in the lineup for manager Mark Moore. It's October 24th. Approximate noontime start. Good close-up look at Lawfrey, who has walked 4 and hit a batter. But still working on a no-hitter. Line drive caught by the second baseman. Quasis, one down. Here's the manager, Mark Moore. First pitch, high and away, ball 1. One of the 5 Dallas Orioles that has been issued a free pass here by Steve Lawfrey through 2 1/3 inning. No score, top of the 3rd. Dallas batting, curve is in there, 1-1 the count. 85 degrees, our game time temperature here in Scottsdale. Here's a windup in the pitch. Popped him up on the infield. Foul territory now. The catcher, and really one of the toughest plays for a catcher, that short pop-up in this high Arizona sky. That ball is just a bit outside, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Chopper to shortstop. He will charge. He fields, throws, and got him. Wells to Weathers, 2 down.
Now batting, number 16, Randy Lash.
Randy Lash, the third place hitter. Alden adds a syllable, I think, to everybody's name. He's not Randy Lash, he's Randy Lash. Of course, he says it with a lot more flair than I do. He's done a nice job. I like the energy. Well, that was a good-looking pitch there by Steve Lawfrey. That one is high and tight, ball 4. That is 5 walks issued. Boy, I'll tell you what, Dallas has really got to be kicking themselves in the foot for not pushing across. I mean, you probably one of the first things you ever learn in baseball as a young child, you'll hear coaches say, walks will haunt. It's probably one of the first baseball phrases I ever learned. Right now, 6 free passes, 5 walks and a hit batsman. And Vernon Wells, Jr., Vernon Wells the second, of course, his son, Vernon Wells the third, major league outfielder, played for the Yankees this year and more notably with the Toronto Blue Jays and Anaheim Angels. Vernon still looks like he could play. And Vernon is known for his artistic work. A lot of his paintings are, as that's ball 4, and that's 6 walks issued by Lawfrey. And here's John Long. A lot of his paintings are hung in the hallways of many professional and major league teams around the country. And right now, Steve Lawfrey is just struggling with his command. He's down 2-0. After retiring the first 2 hitters, he's walked the last 2, and he's 2-0 on Long. And that's in the dirt, and it's 3-0. Strike called. And ball 4, and he has walked the bases loaded. Wow. So the bases are loaded and 2 out, and here is Jerry Mecca for the second time in 3 innings coming to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 outs. He takes a strike. I don't think Jerry cared for that call. Looked like it was low and away. If Jerry does not come through here in this situation, and the inning would end with his at bat, Dallas will have stranded 9 runners through the first 3 innings. Good eye by Mecca. Like to thank Jerry for setting up today's broadcast. So now the bad thing about going full is that all the runners are going to be taken off here, and that's inside. Oh, he called it. Strike 3 called, and the inning is over. And Jerry just bit his tongue off. He didn't say anything. We head to the bottom half of inning number 3 in a scoreless tie. Giants coming up. Boy, Jerry Mecca obviously thought that he had a bases-loaded walk and an RBI. Got rung up by our home plate umpire, and now bottom half of the 3rd inning. Here's a fly ball out in the shallow center field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. So we go back to the top of the lineup, and here as Tony Brower gets the leadoff single, Will Militia, the first hitter in the lineup here of Bud Sanchez's NorCal Giants. Up there for the second time, he popped up to the shortstop in shallow left field. No score, bottom half of inning number 3. Ruben Otis and a bunt, first base side. This is going to be trouble. Otis, underhanded flip, not in time. It gets away from the first baseman. They're going to rule that a base hit, and they're at first and second. And now Taylor Wells, the shortstop. And Brower had to dive back into the second base bag. Here's a bunt, and a pretty good one. The third baseman charging in, throws to first. Sacrifice going 5-3. So runners are at second and third, and now Rob Segura up there with a chance to push across the game's first run. Been up one time. He walked in the first. Runners are at second and third and 1 out. The pitch. And a ball hit up the middle and into center field, and 2 runs are going to score. And just like that, the NorCal Giants lead it 2-0. Rob Segura coming through in the clutch with a 2-run single to center field.
Number 40, Mark Weather.
2-0. 2-0. Now the cleanup hitter, Mark Weathers. Line drive. Foul ball, first base side. He did that his first at bat. So a 2-0 lead here for the Giants. Oh, those are 2 big runs. You know, the one thing if you're a NorCal Giants fan, you're saying to yourself, man, we are lucky that it's 2-0. We're lucky that we're shutting these guys out. The Orioles have stranded 9 runners on the strength of not only 7 walks. 7 walks and a hit batsman, and they have not been able to capitalize. But I think the one thing, if you're Dallas, you know, and I've seen this 100 times before where a guy really struggles with his command, then all of a sudden gets a couple of runs, feels a little better about things, and he starts getting into a groove. So Dallas definitely will have to get out those hitting sticks in the 4th inning if they're gonna contend here. You know, that was a big swing and a miss, and down goes the cleanup hitter, Mark Weathers. Strikeout number 2 for Ruben Otis. And now an check swing line drive to second, and Poole is retired. We are heading to the 4th. 2-0 NorCal Giants on APN Video Sports. So a 2-run single by Rob Segura gives the NorCal Giants a 2-0 lead as we head to inning number 4. It'll be David Thrall to start things off. He walked his first time up. Well, Steve Lawfrey, the starting pitcher, as this one is bounced to third and gobbled up down there by Segura, who throws a little off the bag, and that'll draw the first baseman off, and that'll be an error on Rob Segura at third base. And now the next batter will sacrifice Mike Bergoglio. David Thrall over to second base in scoring position. So good job by Michael. And here's Lester Bedford.
Watch out.
0-1 on Lester. He laid down a beautiful sacrifice bunt to put runners at second and third, one out in the second. A ball and a strike on the left-handed hitter. Rich Hildenbrand is on deck. Top of the fourth inning for the Dallas Orioles. I guess there was some controversy with one of the teams coming into the playoffs. And one reason how Dallas slipped into this championship game, it was a team out of Texas. Here's a bouncing ball to the right side. The second baseman knocks it down and will not have a play. And they're going to give Bedford an infield hit. I figured that he probably would have beat that out anyway. So runners are at first and third with one out, and here's Rich Hildebrand. But Steve Lawfrey, starting pitcher here for NorCal, has issued 8 free passes. He's hit a batter and walked 7 through the first 3 innings of play, and yet has not given up a run yet. But he's in hot water for the 3rd inning in a row. First and third occupied with 1 out, and Rich Hildebrand, and this guy can hit. He smoked one down the left field line, even though he would eventually walk. The ball was just fouled down the left field line. Probably the hardest hit ball we've seen so far. Good looking pitch and just off the inside corner. Well, Jerry Mecca, when he watches this video, he's going to say that looked a lot better than the one I got rung up on with the bases loaded back in the 2nd inning or the 3rd inning. I can hear him now. And that's probably a couple of weeks before he watches this thing. 2-0 lead for NorCal. Giants are in the field. We're in the top half of the 4th inning. The pitch. And a breaking ball in there. Yes, we do have a left-handed catcher. That's 57, Larry Proetti. Here's the runners at first and third. The pitch. And that's ball 4. 8 walks in 3 1/3 inning. Jerry Castaneda bounced into a 1-2-3 double play, his first and only time up. I think that's Jerry Mecca over there, courtesy running at first base, called strike 0-1. Boy, I'll tell you, if you're Dallas, I mean, you will take it any way you can in this situation. You got to get that run in. That's low. Castaneda, a good hitter. He can hit the all fields. Here's a bouncing ball to the right side. The first baseman's only play is at first base. And scoring is David Thrall with the first run of the game for Dallas. And now the lead is cut to 2-1. We go back to the top of the Dallas lineup. Here's Dave Husky against the right-hander Steve Lawfrey. Second and third, 2 out. And a called strike, and Husky can't believe it. I try not to criticize the umpires. It's a tough job. Some of those bang plays out there, it's tough. But I'll tell you what, the inconsistency of strike zones that I've seen this year, well, I see it every year. It's just amazing as this one's rolled to the shortstop, and his play is to first and draws the first baseman off the bag. That'll be the second error of the inning, and another run is in. It is a 2-run inning, and it's now a 2-2 tie. And now the manager, Mark Moore. So Bergoglio coming in, the courtesy runner, and now Moore who takes a strike. Top of the fourth inning in this 55 Cactus National Championship game, and we're all tied at 2. Here's a stolen base attempt and a successful one. So Dave Husky is in. He is in scoring position. Runners are at second and third, and the Orioles have the man up there they want, and he does not like the call. Now, that one actually looked pretty good. Though I don't know if it was low or not. It's kind of hard to tell from this vantage point. He's called a couple that looked a lot further out of the strike zone than that one. So now Moore has to protect. He's got 2 strikes, and Lawfrey delivers, and strike 3 called, inning over. But 2 runs come across. And we're heading to the home half of inning number 4, a 2-2 tie. As Art Sears will start things off, batting for the second time. He is 0 for 1. You're watching the 2013 MSBL World Series on APM Video Sports, the 55 Cactus National Championship game. Yes, for some of you not acquainted with the MSBL, this is a 55 age group and over. Now, I don't know all the waiver rules, or here's a fly ball out in the left field. And coming on, and there was a miscommunication between the manager, Mark Moore, and his shortstop. And that's going to be a leadoff single for Art Sears. He's 1 for 2. Next batter is Steve Mahler, who had a base hit in the second. But they do have what you call waiver players, and I'm not sure what the rules are at this level. There's so many levels and so many variations of the rules, and I don't think it's all that important probably for me to memorize all these different rules. But nonetheless, some of these leagues, if not all of them, are allowed to bring in guys under that 55 age threshold, and some get more than others. As this one's bunted to third, and Moore throws him out at first. Good strong throw by the Mark Moore at third base. Or check that. No, that's John Long over there at third. Yeah, Moore's in left field, Jeff. Get it right. So a sacrifice. Go ahead run at second base. Here's Steve Acevedo, who struck out back in the second inning. Ruben Otis has struck out 2. He has walked 1. Both runs earned. And he's got a runner at second base with 1 out. We're in the bottom half of the fourth inning in a 2-2 tie, and this hard-hitting left-hand hitter Steve Acevedo trying to push across the go-ahead run after the Orioles tied things up in the top of the second. The pitch. Swing and a miss right over the top of it, and that is the third strikeout for Ruben Otis. Second time he's got Acevedo, and now Dan Hasse. Good close-up look at Mr. Ruben Otis. Off the fist and popped up. It's going to land in front of first base. What a job. What an incredible play by the first baseman, Hal Maw. And we are heading to the fifth from Scottsdale Stadium on APN Video Sports at 2-2 tie. This is the 55 and over Cactus National Championship game. Boy, what a phenomenal play down there at first base to end the inning. And now we go to the top of the fifth inning. Randy Lash to start things off. And wallop down the left field line, and it's foul. and not by much. He hits a fly ball out into shallow center field. He broke back initially, then comes in and makes a spectacular sprawling catch. What a job by Militia in center field. So you can hang a star next to that one, baby. And there's one down, and the batter is going to be Vernon Wells the second. Vernon up for just the second time. Check that the third time. He has reached on a fielder's choice and has walked. Well, special thanks goes out to Jerry Mecca and the Orioles and Rob Segura over there in the NorCal Giants for allowing us to be a part of this 55 championship game. Boy, I'll tell you, you meet so many people as well as draws the walk. And the next batter is going to be John Long, who has walked twice in his 2 plate appearances. It's just amazing how many people that you meet down through the years and see come out here year after year after year. It's so much fun. It's a great opportunity for myself to meet people from across the country, and boy, we've met just some of the best people you're ever going to find. I know Rob did not hire us to come out here to do this game, as that one is swung through and missed, and that'll be the first out of the inning. So speaking of Jerry Mecca, he's up there, and he takes inside, ball 1. Runner at first is Vernon Wells. Mecca up there again with 2 out, as he was in the first and in the third inning. 5th inning of work for Steve Lawfrey, the starting pitcher for the NorCal Giants. And this ball's hammered out into left field, a base hit. So Jerry Mecca is aboard. And the batter is going to be David Thrall. So Mecca at first, you got Vernon Wells at second. 2 out here in the top of the 5th inning. And that's ball 4. So the bases are loaded again. This is the 4th time in 5 innings the bases have been loaded. And 10 walks, and the batter, hold on a minute, and Bergoglio is not very happy here. Well, that's going to prompt the manager, Mark Moore, to come out. There was no attempt to get out of the way. I think the umpire felt that Mike leaned into that. That would have given the Orioles the lead. And that's a called strike. I don't think Mike realized that that last pitch was a called strike. Or, this is starting to get a little heated here between these two. Well, we got some drama here in the Msbl World Series. Tensions starting to brew here between umpire and hitter. a 1-2 count. Mike right now just trying to collect himself, and I think we've all been in this situation before. 1-2, 2 outs. The base is loaded, a 2-2 tie. Here's the pitch, and he stays alive by fouling it off over the first base dugout. Again, the 1-2, and a ground ball to shortstop. He will go to second, and once again, the bases remain loaded. We're heading to the home half of the fifth inning in a 2-2 tie. First pitch, ground ball to third. He's up, he throws, he got him, and there's one down. One pitch, one out. And John Long doing a nice job down at the hot corner for the Orioles. Well, we go back to the top of the lineup. Here is Will Militia. Leadoff hitter extraordinaire. He has popped the shortstop. He has singled. Fifth inning of work for Ruben Otis. High fly ball, right field. Coming on is the right fielder. He will make the catch. One knee on the ground. Husky with a nice running catch, 2 down. Taylor Wells batting for the third time, singled in the first. He had a sacrifice in the third, and he hits a drive into right field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. So Taylor, a perfect day at the plate, 2 for 2 with a sacrifice. And now the batter's going to be Rob Segura, who had a 2-run single to break the ice here, and takes a strike, and it's 0-1. He has walked, he has singled in 2. He grounds one back up the middle and into center field, a base hit, his second hit of the day, and Taylor Wells will go to third without a throw. They're on the corners. Rob Segura 2 for 2 now, and here's Mark Weathers. So the NorCal Giants trying to push across the go-ahead run in this national championship game, 55 age group and higher Cactus division. Otis, good pitch there, good velocity. And strike, he says he offered at it. 2 strikes on the left-hander, Mark Weathers. And he grounds one into right field, a base hit, and the Giants take a 3-2 lead. Clutch hitting by Mark Weathers, an RBI single to right field, scoring Taylor Wells, the shortstop, and it's 3-2 Giants over the Orioles here in the bottom of the fifth inning. The 2-out hitter is going to be pinch hitter Hal Young. First and second, and Young swings over, maybe a sinking pitch. 2 strikes on the left-handed hitter. And he chops one right back to Otis, who makes the play and throws him out. And we are heading to the 6th, but NorCal strings together 3 straight hits, and they get the go-ahead run as we head to the top of the 6th. 3-2 Giants on the 8 p.m. Baseball Network. Top of the 6th inning, Jeff Lowry here with APM Video Sports, and Steve Lawfrey in his 6th inning of work. 5 innings. He's given up only 2 runs while walking 10 and hitting a batter. And he's only given up 2 runs, a testament to his resolve, obviously, out there on the mound, and some good defense behind him. And if you can believe it, the 2 runs he gave up were both unearned. So I'll tell you, I think when you talk about the score sheet that I'm looking at right now, it's a little bizarre, to say the least. Very unusual. Here's a line drive back of the second base bag, fielded by the second baseman. His throw is not in time. That's a leadoff hit for Bedford, and the Orioles are off and running. He represents a tying run. So Lester is aboard. He will make way for the courtesy runner. So Virgilio is out there. And now the batter, number 8, Rich Hildebrand, who has walked twice. Laughley has given up just 2 hits. And now falls behind the hitter at 2 balls and no strikes. Bedford at first. The runner goes. Here's the throwdown, and it is late. A stolen base for Lester Bedford. Good looking pitch. I'll tell you, as this one skips away, and now the runner is going to be 90 feet away from tying things up. I'll tell you what, you talk about the command issues that Laughley has had as this one is skied to right. Will this be deep enough to score the run? The catch is made. Here's the throw home. It will be cut off. The relay to the plate is late. Mike is in. We're tied again, 3-3. Sacrifice fly for Rich Hildebrand. And here in the top of the 6th inning, a 3-3 tie in this 55 and over Cactus Division national title game. Tony Frisello will bat for the first time.
I'll catch up with you later.
That's upstairs. 6th inning of work for Laughley as he delivers, and this ball's hit towards a hole, but cut off by Segura, who throws it over to first base, and he gets the out. Next batter up, leadoff hitter Husky, and the pitcher covering, throwing, safe, infield hit. Only the third, make that the 4th hit of the ball game now for the Dallas Orioles, and they got the go-ahead run at first base, and now the manager is Mark Moore. First pitch to him is taken low, ball 1. Moore looking for his first hit, though he did walk in the first inning. A 3-3 tie as this ball is hit out into left center field. It's off the glove of the left fielder. Here comes a runner around third, and they're going to hold him up. He might have scored. It's hard to say. With the bobble down there, he probably would have scored. But nonetheless, Mark Moore has a double. And the batter is going to be Randy Lash. And Lash takes ball 1. He has been hit by a pitch. He has walked. He was robbed on a great catch out in center field by Will Militia. And he's up there with runners at second and third. A run is in and a 3-3 tie. Swung on. Long drive. Deep left field. It's a long run. What a basket catch. A sensational play by Steve Muller out in left field. And the side is retired. Scottsdale Stadium. And we're seeing a great one, an instant classic here, as Art Sears will lead things off. It's the Orioles 3. It's the Giants 3. You're watching APN Video Sports. Well, I'll tell you, we've seen 3 web gems in this contest. Art Sears, 1 for 2 bats here in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Okay.
And a line drive, base hit, right back up the middle. So Ruben Otis gives up a leadoff single to Art Sears, his 2nd hit of the day, and now Steve Muller. Boy, what a catch Steve made out there in left field. Saved 2 runs and in the inning, and I mean, he truly robbed Randy Lash, who has been robbed on 2 occasions today. That's high, ball 1. 9 hits in total now off Ruben Otis. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, we're all knotted up at 3 apiece. Of course, the semifinals, boy, NorCal had a battle with the Arizona Diamondbacks. They won that one by 1, 10-9, as Otis delivers. Hit to the opposite field, and the first 2 have reached via a base hit. 10 hits now on the day. Runners are at first and second, nobody out. And the batter up there in a bunt situation fouls it off. Vic Wooten. He's swinging, and he pops it up. Will this stay in play? It will not. It's out of here. First and second occupied, nobody out. 2-1, or 1-1 now the count on Vic Wooten. Of course, I didn't get to finish the story. The Fort Worth or the Texas Phils had to forfeit their game as this ball is hit out in the left and playable for Mark Moore, and he's got it. Nice catch, 1 down.
Now batting.
So here's Gwayne Groundtree. Groundtree batting with first and second, now 1 out. 3-3 tie. We're in the home half of the 6th inning. And he's first pitch hacking, and he hits it out in no man's land. That's going to fall for a base hit. Moore, nice job getting it back in quickly and holds the runner at third. The bases are loaded with 1 out. 11 hits off Ruben Otis, and the batter is Tony Brower. But apparently some kind of ruling, something to do with the substitution or not batting equal batters in the game, and or something to do with illegal player. I don't know what the whole story was at this point. It's irrelevant. All that we know is Dallas advances to this championship game, and they are in a 3-3 tie. But Ruben Otis is in boiling hot water. Bases loaded, 1 out, and that is strike 3 called. He got him. Beautiful pitch. 4 strikeouts for Ruben. And now maybe one of the toughest hitters on the field, Will Militia. The Diamondbacks took the NorCal Giants to the 9th inning, only to see the Giants win 10-9. 3-3 tie here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. NorCal comes in here 7-0. Bouncing ball left side. The third baseman Fields throws to second in time. Inning over. Well, a good job by Ruben Otis. And John Long making the play down at the hot corner from Scottsdale. 3-3 tie. This is the 55 and over Cactus national title game. Vernon Wells looking for his first hit. 0 for 1 with a pair of walks. He bats here in the top of the 7th inning for the Dallas Orioles, who was 5-1 in round-robin play with the forfeited win in the semifinals. 6-1 by way of record coming in. 6-1 Orioles, 7-0 NorCal. And he has walked 3 consecutive plate appearances. Well, Steve Lawfrey goes 6 innings, gives up 2 runs. Both of those runs were unearned. He walked 10 and hit a batter. And now giving way as Segura makes the play on the sacrifice, going 5-3 and moving Vernon Wells up into scoring position at second base. And now Jerry Mecca takes a strike. Gerald is 1 for 3 out of Dallas, Texas. And the new pitcher on the mound coming in from shortstop, Taylor Wells. Wells with a good, strong arm. Played a good shortstop here today. Here's a line drive caught by the... Oh, he dropped it. And the throw on to first will retire Mecca. So that play goes 4-3. Jerry thought he...
Number 7, David Thrall.
I think Jerry thought maybe as hard as he hit that ball, that one was going to find some daylight and go out in the right field for an RBI hit. Instead, it's an out, and there's 2 down. And now David Thrall. I love this PA announcer. He takes a 1-syllable name and turns it into a 2-syllable name. Good job by the left-handed catcher, Larry Proetti. Bouncing ball, shortstop. And the convenient hop, and he air melted at first base. Comes right back to the first baseman, throw to the plate, and Vernon Wells is out. 6-3-2. An outstanding job by Larry Proetti, who took the full brunt of that collision, and the inning is over. Well, we are seeing some very exciting baseball. So we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. We're tied at 3. This is the 55 and over Cactus championship game, and it's only on APN Video Sports, the official videographer of the MSBL World Series. Taylor Wells, a perfect day at the plate. He is 2 for 2. He's also had a sacrifice, which led to a run. He has scored a run. He has played very well at shortstop and had a scoreless inning of relief in the top of this 7th inning for starter Steve Lawfrey, who went 6 innings of 4-hit, 2-run baseball. And a bunt here that's probably going to net him another hit, and it will. So Wells is 3 for 3 with a sacrifice. He is aboard to lead things off for Rob Segura. He bunts one down the long. He picks it up. He fires, not in time. Here's a runner from first going to third, and he's in. How about that? 12 hits now in total against Ruben Otis. Check that, 13 hits. And now dealing to Mark Weathers, who's hit the ball hard a couple of times, though foul. And an RBI single back in the 5th inning, a big hit. Boy, every run-producing at bat in this game has been vital. So Ruben Otis hoping for a double play ball, though with the infield playing in on the pull side, might be a little more difficult to turn. Here's the pitch. And a ground ball up the middle and into center field, a base hit. A second RBI hit for Mark Weathers produces the go-ahead run for the Giants, and they lead it 4-3. And now a bunt. Otis to the second baseman covering. David Thrall. So that'll be a sacrifice. And here is Art Sears, 2 out of 3. 4-3 lead here for NorCal. Trying to win a national title and run the table with a perfect season of MSBL World Series play. Quasis was the previous hitter that had the sacrifice bunt. I didn't have time to announce his name. So here is Art Sears. He's had a base hit in his last 2 tries, and he almost got hit by a pitch. In fact, I think it nicked that loose jersey, and technically that is a hit batsman. Saw Pete Rose get that call in the 75 World Series. Good pitch. That's a strike on the outside corner. Art thought it was outside. And he bloops one. Center field. Vernon Wells coming on. He will not have a play. And it's now 5-3. Here comes the throw in. And NorCal has put up a couple of runs back-to-back RBI hits. Of course, you got a sacrifice in between, but Art Sears comes through. His third straight hit. And now Steve Mahler, who is singled, a sacrifice, a single, and now he bats here. 2 runs in, and he comes up empty-handed, 0-1. 5-3 lead. 14 hits against Ruben Otis. Throw down the second on the steal attempt, and got him. He's out. He's out. A huge out there. Sears can't believe the call. So 2 down here in the inning. And now Steve Mahler, left fielder. Saved a couple of runs. I'll tell you what, this game could, at this juncture of the game, I think looking back, you could say this could have easily been an Orioles win. They left 9 runners, left the bases loaded in each of the first 3 innings. So Steve walks down to first base. The base on balls, runners at first and third. Vic Wooten for the second time. He's in Steve Acevedo's position in the lineup. And he pops this one up, and the second baseman, Thrall, has it. And we are heading to the 8th. 2 runs come across. NorCal Giants lead it 5-3. This is the World Series on APN. Well, here's Mike. This guy's been busy with all the courtesy running, and it's been to the plate now. This is the 4th time. He's reached on a fielder's choice as a sacrifice. I think he scored twice as a courtesy runner. And Taylor Wells in his second inning of work in relief of Steve Laughley, who will not factor into the decision in this game. This is Wells' game to win or lose at this point, as he comes into the inning with a 5-3 lead. We're in the top half of the 8th inning. High and tight. Boy. Larry Proetti still in there, the southpaw catcher. And that's ball 4. So Mike starts off the 8th inning with a walk. Wells, who had a shutout inning in inning number 7. High drive by Bedford. Long run by the right fielder, but he's got it. And throws back to first base quickly and nearly doubled him up. So a good effort out there in right field.
Number.
As the ball gets away from the catcher, next hitter up, Rich Hillebrand, had a sac fly. He has walked a couple of times. Hard-hitting right-handed hitter. I don't have a 62 on the Dallas Orioles roster. Well, this has been a close game. NorCal with 2 in the 3rd. Dallas came back with 2 in the top of the 4th inning to tie it up. NorCal got a single run in the 5th. Dallas came right back and equalized in the top of the 6th as Hillebrand lines one to left field, coming in hard and making the running catch. Boy, a nice job out there. We've seen 2 nice plays. That's Mahler in left field. And I do have, so that's Dan Hasse out in right field, who made the nice catch previously on Bedford. So 2 down. And Frisello, the batter. 0 for 1, grounded out to third. His first and only time up in the 6th inning. He bats here in the 8th. Dallas with a runner at second and 2 out. Pitch out of play. Major League Baseball coming out with their finalists for MVP. Be an interesting race as this one's grounded foul. I wonder if Miguel Cabrera has enough to overpower Mike Trout of the LA Angels, who had his second outstanding year. As this one's grounded to shortstop, and he'll gobble it up and throw him out at first base, and we are heading to the bottom half of the 8th inning. We're back here at Scottsdale Stadium, winter home of the Giants. Roundtree will lead it off for the NorCal Giants, who right now have a 2-run lead and looking for possibly a 55 Cactus national championship. Ruben Otis still out there doing a fine job. Interesting, the National League finalists, including Cardinal catcher Yadier Molina. Arizona Diamondback first baseman Goldschmidt. As this one's popped up and caught by the second baseman, and there's quickly one down here for the Orioles. For the Giants. Here's a line drive, base hit left field. So Dan Hasse, a Roundtree pops out, followed by a Brower single.
Now batting.
That's my girlfriend out there, by the way. Not 13, the girl on the wall. And now Will Militia. Man, that almost backfired on me. I don't know how in the world you could not go with Goldschmidt. I mean, his numbers, he had 36 home runs. He had 125 RBIs. I mean, he had a monster year. He kept Arizona. I mean, you take him off that lineup, and Arizona finishes 20 games under 500. I don't really consider myself a Diamondback fan anymore. And that's another story that nobody cares to hear about. But to be honest with you, I just can't see why he would not be the MVP this year. But he's a finalist along with Molina. Militia up there. He has popped the short, singled, flied out, grounded out. Looking for a hit here. He bunts one out in front of the plate. And Ruben Otis throws him out number 2. Now Taylor Wells. They have had no success against this guy. He has singled 3 times. He has a sacrifice in 4 plate appearances. Got a runner at second base and 2 out, and that's a called strike. And Taylor's like, hey, if you're going to call that, I'm going to throw every pitch when I go back out on the mound. I'm going to throw every pitch out there. I think Ruben's pitched a nice game here today. That one's out of play. Though all the runs that he has given up have been earned, but I think really you go 7 innings, give up 5 runs. That's not a bad outing. But he needs to hold them here to give his team a chance in the top of the 9th inning. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Wells and the Giants batting, leading 5-3. Good job by the catcher. Well, the bench not feeling too good about things right now, but they're only down 2. Runner at second, 2 out. Line drive off the glove of the pitcher. It gets by the second baseman. The run will score as Moore has moved to center field, and it's 6-3.
Now batting, number 30, Rob Segura.
4 for 4 is Taylor Walls.
Ladies and gentlemen, that'll be it for the Dallas Orioles starting pitcher. Let's give him a big
Ruben
round of
Otis,
applause.
I think, really deserves a round of applause. 7 2/3 innings. And now we'll give way to the second pitcher, Doug Doyle. And Doyle to Segura, first pitch called strike. Two out. And a runner at first base. Taylor Wells, who had the RBI hit, he will try to swipe second. He's got it. No problem for Taylor Wells, one of the top athletes on the field here today. And now Segura. He had a big 2-run hit in the third inning that at the time gave NorCal an early 2-0 lead. The Giants have never trailed in this game. They beat the Orioles back on the 21st of October, back on Monday, 8-3. Ground ball down the line, foul by Segura, who walked in the first, 2-run single in the third, a single in the fifth, another single, and another hit out into left field, and Taylor Wells will score. And they just continue to pile it on. And now on the next batter, Mark Weathers, I don't know what happened. That was a super quick pitch. They're going to put Weathers on. That'll be an intentional walk. So Rob Segura with 3 RBIs. He's had 4 straight hits, and he has got a perfect day at the plate. He is 4 for 4, 3 RBIs, a run scored, and a walk. And now he's heading to third. They will be at second and third. 2 runs have come in, and it is 7-3 in favor of the Giants. Now Cactus. He had a sacrifice bunt in the 7th. Nearly got hit, and he did get hit. So he heads down to first base, and the bases are loaded. This is the 5th time that they have had the bases loaded here today. Check that. Yep, 5 times. 5 times. Now Art Sears. He has had 3 straight hits. $17 hits in total for the NorCal Giants. And Doug Doyle not very happy right now. On the mound, he delivers. Outside for a ball. Stay with us. We'll have post-game coverage, the awards trophy. And I think they're doing something new this year, a tournament MVP. So we'll try to get all that for you. And that is high, ball 4. He walked in a run. And for Art Sears, his 2nd RBI of the day. And now the batter is going to be Steve Mahler. Mahler, the left fielder, 2 hits, a sacrifice, and a walk, and he is perfect at the plate. 3 runs in here in the 8th inning. This ball gets away. This will be the 4th run if he's safe, and Doyle couldn't hold on to it. Mark Weathers scores, or the courtesy runner. Wasn't sure if he had a courtesy runner, and it's now 9-3. 4 runs here in the inning. Mahler up there with a runner at second, and the pitch is way outside. 2 balls on him. Shut up. Chopper, third base side, long, got him. And we are heading to the 9th inning here from Scottsdale Stadium, the winter home of the San Francisco Giants, and home to the 55 and over Cactus championship game. And right now, NorCal 3 outs away from national supremacy.
Top of the 9th inning for the Dallas Orioles, the leadoff hitter, number 11, Dave Husky.
All right, Dave Husky to start it off. 1 for 4. Reached on an error in the 4th, singled in the 6th, and he's down 0-1. Husky, Moore, and Randy Lash. 3 outs away for NorCal, 3 outs away from a championship in Bud Sanchez's last season as a manager. 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes on the leadoff hitter. And now the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Third inning of work for Wells, trying to close this one out. Chopper down to third. Segura has it. He throws to first base, and there's 1 down. Well, right now, the winning pitcher, as Moore wallops one into the gap left center field, dropping in for a base hit. He'll take the big turn. He'll stay at first.
Number 16, Randy Lash.
So Mark Moore, unless this thing goes extra innings, will finish 2 for 4 with a walk. And now Randy Lash. He has been robbed on great plays by the center fielder and the left fielder. And he's up there with a runner at first and 1 out. His team trailing here in the top of the 9th inning, 9-3. The winning pitcher would be Wells if he can hold the lead here. The losing pitcher would be starter Ruben Otis. There's a look at Taylor Wells. He delivers outside. I'll tell you what, you can't give up in this situation if you're the Orioles. I mean, 6 runs, it does seem like a mountain to climb at this point, but you just never know. An error or 2 here and there, and a walk, a couple of walks, a couple of bloop singles, and the next thing you know, you're down 2 or 3, and you got a shot at it. High pop-up. Left side, the shortstop drifts out. He's got it. And there is 2 down in the inning. It's up to Vernon Wells. And Vernon is not going to come to the plate here,
It was a lot of fun.
as he will give way to Hal Mon, who made a tremendous play down there at first base earlier. Last hope for the Orioles, 2-1.
Yeah.
Mon, we said, made a great play down there at first. Here's a chopper foul. So the Giants 1 out away from winning the 55 and over Cactus Championship. Wells to the belt, to the plate. And it's lined out into center field. Nope, it's going to be picked up by the second baseman. He flips to second. The ball game is over, and the 2013 national champions are the NorCal Giants of the 55 and over Cactus Division. Final score 9-3. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Group, most of us have been together for a long time. That's why we put it together. We've been coming out here, most of us started out in 93 or 94. Had a great time, played some good baseball, got a chance to play a very good team in the championship game. They were a very good team as well. As you could see, it was a very tight ball game until the very end there. We just didn't get any timely hitting. When you leave 16 men on base, it's just not going to do too good. But as a team, we have a good time coming out here every year, and we'll continue doing it. We have a blast.
All right. Thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you.